Hi, I'm SoCal Honey Badger, and that was my intro. Today, I want to talk about spacing and how that works in tandem with my last guide, which was the fundamentals and things like that. I'm going to pause because I don't want the music blasting in my head, right? Spacing is something that, most of you suck at. Most of you suck at spacing. In fact, most people suck at spacing. And you should never, ever have buttons. If that happens, then you suck. If that happens, you fucked up, right? The only thing you want is that. So how did I know that standing here at the start, right, round one fight, that misses? I take a tiny step forward, misses, take another one, hits, right? It's actually that step. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. It's one step, right? That'll hit from one step at the start, right? But it's got to be a full step, right? If you do a tiny step, it misses, right? Full step, well, that's a walk. But a full step, there it is. There it is. You got to hold it and then let go, and it'll hit. Usually there's some sort of, there are markers in the arena that will help you with your spacing. You should use that. You should know the arenas and the background. So I know that if my leg is around where that, covering the fruit bowl, right? If I'm covering the fruit bowl with my knee, oh, and my fucking picture's in the way. Anyways, see that fruit bowl right there, right by my head? And move over, right? That fruit bowl. If my knee is covering the fruit bowl, right? Covering it completely, back one's going to hit. That's the key to spacing. Knowing where you are in relationship to your opponent. So that way you're not just throwing buttons out like a fucking idiot. And then you get whiff punished. And that's how I jump on you guys for free. Because I'm like, oh, I'll just stand here. I know that if I stand here, that will hit. So I know if I stand here, he's going to want to put that out. And all I've got to do is wait for him to flinch. And then I'm jumping in. Right? So once you understand that, and you understand spacing, you need to know where think about it as like when you're with a girl, or if you're a girl and you're with a guy, and you ain't never put it down before, right? Never been inside. And the typical thing that a guy would say is, oh, babe, but just the tip to see if you like it. And if you don't like it, we could stop. And I want you to think about that with all of your buttons. Every button, you need to know where you can stand to where you will hit them with just the tip. Just the tip, right? I just want to hit you with that. Bam, and then combo. Right? Just the tip. And you need to know that with every single button, right? So I know that I can miss that, right? That's just the tip, right? That's just the tip. See, that misses there. So that's just the tip, right? You can go for your shit. The reason why you want to space everything out to where you're hitting with just the tip is that's like your safest range, right? Your safest range, because most moves, if I set sub-zero, excuse me, to block everything, right? Okay? If I am here, let me start over, right? If I am here with just the tip, right? Just the tip of my move is going to hit. Hold on. Let me move it. Right? Well, that move is a bad example. Let me do the whole thing. Okay? You see that? When they block the attack, there's what's called pushback, right? So they block the move, and then you get pushed back a little bit, and it keeps you kind of safe. Unless you're doing a move that's unsafe, that's just fucking stupid. Like if you're doing this shit, right? That's not very safe at all. So even if you hit that move with just the tip, you're not safe. But if you hit them with just the tip, with the pushback of a move, it leaves you at a safe distance to where you can block and react and retaliate to whatever nonsense they want to do. That's why you always want to space things right, and that's why you always want to know where the optimal range is for each move, because every move is different, right? This move has farther range than that one, right? You see that this goes that far, that goes that far. So each move has an optimal range, and this is where you're going to get tells, right? This is where you can make reads. Because once you understand the matchup of where your opponent wants to stand, then you can start controlling that space. Then you can start the, like I said, the zoning of like, yo, you want to stand there, so I'm just going to put shit here so that you cannot stand there, right? I'm going to throw buttons out that cover that specific spot, and you cannot stand there. Fuck you, right? And if you know, understanding matchup knowledge as it relates to spacing, when you start to understand your opponent's spacing, that's when the mind games get even better. So like if I'm playing Cabal, you know that from like right here, this is what I'm going to be looking for. So that's what you need to be looking for. From right here, you don't have to worry about that. But when I get here, right, that's what you're going to be looking for. The closer range move, right? And not this move. You're going to be looking for that. So depending on where you are standing relative to your opponent, you know what moves to look for. And it works with every character, right? So if I switch over to Sub-Zero, and I actually did a private session with a player a couple weeks back, and I kind of showed him how spacing works, and he was a Sub-Zero main. And I showed him how spacing works with Sub-Zero, and he said it like immediately boosted his game plan, like to the moon. He was like, oh my God, like after spending an hour with you breaking down spacing, like I went on Kombat League and I went undefeated like 10 matches in a row, right? So even with Sub-Zero, right, you look at like his spacing tools, he's got that. He's got that. That doesn't have a whole lot of space, right? Not a whole lot of space. But you got that. And this is how you control space with someone like Sub-Zero, right? You actually want to use this move back here. You're like, wait a minute. Why would I use that move back there? Which, actually, I'm going to switch characters. I'm going to switch characters real quick. Let's see. You guys are asking questions. I'll answer questions in a sec. I try to get through these pretty quickly, so that way I can post them on YouTube. And I don't want to have to edit out all of my responses to like questions to live chat when I post these on YouTube. So for the first couple of minutes, I usually don't respond to chat. Please bear with me. But anyways, the Sub-Zero mirror, much better, right? This is a better option to show you guys how spacing works and understanding and controlling space. And this is how you get whiff punishes, right? So I was saying you want to actually use this move a little bit further back. A lot of people think, oh, I want to do it here, right? I want to do it right in his face. So that way, you know, do my combo. Look at the range. It has no range. If you're only using that move at that range, then you don't understand spacing and you don't understand controlling space, and that's why you suck. You actually want to use it back here. You want to use it from the same range as that. Why? Because of the hit properties, right? Remember, this is a high, right? This is a high attack, covers a lot of ground, but it's high. So how do you beat the high? You do that, right? So if Sub-Zero is just kind of controlling space with that, you're going to start throwing that out, right? He's going to do that, and you're going to punish him. So if I record Sub-Zero to do that, right? I'm going to blow it up, right? I'm going to blow it up. Blow it up every time. That's me controlling space. He's trying to control space with a high. I'm going to control space with something that beats it. Why you want to use the back three, right? And this is the basis between Sub-Zero. Johnny Cage plays similar. Those of you who have asked me how to play Johnny Cage, he has this very similar game plan, but he can do it better. Like everything Sub-Zero does, Johnny Cage does better. The reason why you want to start mashing that, which I'm going to set him to record, right? Okay, so he's going to do that, right? Hold on, let me set him to jab first. Jab, and then he's going to do that, right? So I'm going to jab and then do that, right? So I'm looking to hit that, and he's going to punish it, right? He's going to go under it and punish it. But I know the spacing, right? I know his spacing. I know how far that down 4 reaches, right? So I can do that. Catch him, right? So he's going to go for it. Oh, wait for the jab. And I can go and catch it. Well, I'm backing up too much. Catch it, right? Catch it. Oh, I missed it there. This is not easy to do, right? It's not. You see, I'm fucking it up here. But I'm looking to catch his foot. And I can hit this. I can hit this from a safe range. There it is. There it is. Right? So I want to stand there and catch his foot. Back up a little bit. That's why there's a back input built into that move, right? There's a back input because I'm trying to get him. I'm trying to get him to whiff the move, and then I can hit him with my little light kick, my low kick, catch him on the whiff punish. And so you kind of want to know with Sub-Zero in every matchup, you know, I want to abuse that. This is my juice, right? This is my move I want to use. But once they start throwing out pokes, it's like, okay, he's throwing out the poke. I'm going to stand outside the poke, and I'm going to catch it, right? I'm going to catch his poke, right? He's going to throw it out, whiff punish it. He's going to throw out the poke, I'm going to whiff punish it. That's the range you want to use that move. Now, granted, yes. Okay, hold on. Let me turn him to, no, not AI. Yes, when you're here, you want to use that. Absolutely. But if you look at the move list, right, you look at your commands, back 3 starts up in 13 frames. That's actually kind of slow, right? That's really slow. And so a lot of people are like, oh, it's shitty because it's slow. You could just interrupt on it. You fucking mash on him, right? That's Sub-Zero's weakness. You mash on him. Well, the reason why it's slow is because it's not meant to be just thrown out up close. It's meant to be used as a whiff punisher to catch down 4 pokes. That's the whole point of that move, is to punish down 4 pokes with a combo, right? So I'm going to sit here. I'm going to throw that out. It's slow, right? It's slow because it has a low crush property. He lifts his leg up and then kicks down, right? If you look at the animation, he lifts up his leg and then kicks down. The reason why is he lifts up his leg so your low poke goes under and then he kicks down and catches your low poke. And at that range, that's where you want to use that mostly. I mean, again, there are other uses and other spacings where you would want to use that move. But I'm saying that a lot of people that play Sub-Zero and they'll do this here. Like a good Sub-Zero will do this just outside of there. Where you know it'll whiff, but if they stuck out a button, it's going to hit. And if you understand spacing, you can do that. You'll understand if he sticks out a button at this point, right? And this is how you bait because it's so slow. I'll stick it out preemptively, and he'll start throwing this out to try and catch me, right? Because his move is faster and has better range. But because it starts up so slow, I'm going to lift up my leg. Their move's going to whiff. I'm going to hit it. And then once I hit this at that range, they're going to stop throwing out their poke, right? They're going to stop doing this shit, right? Because they're like, fuck, he keeps catching my poke. He keeps catching my long range back or down 4 with that fucking combo. And I'm getting full combo punished for pushing down 4. Just for pushing out a light kick, a low kick, like a really, really quick move. And I'm getting blown up for full combo. I'm going to stop doing that. And then once they stop doing that, bam! Right in the face, homie. Get the axe, homie. Get the fucking unbreakable combo, homie. Unbreakable damage, right? So that's the interplay in spacing. Is I want to do this because this controls that space. Once you start moving out of that space, right? He's crouching and hitting me with a low kick. He's moving out of space and attacking from space that I cannot control. And once he starts moving out of that space and attacking from space I cannot control, I will switch tactics and start attacking that space that he's trying to control. Every character interaction with every move against every other character with every move has a similar mind game to this. Every character does this. This is why I say a lot of you guys are like, should I pick this character? Should I pick? I don't know who to play. I don't know. Like, I want to play like 5 different characters. And I'm like, you don't. You're not good enough to play 5 characters. You don't understand the game at a high enough level to play multiple characters. Like, you're just going to lose a lot. You don't understand your spacing, right? Think about it this way. Okay, your own body. Think of your character as an extension of your own body, right? If I stick out my hand and I close my eyes, right? Hold on, let me make sure it's in the camera. Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes and I stick out my hand. Oh shit, there's a follow. Hold on, my eyes are closed. I can't see what it is. If I stick out my hand, I can bring my hand to my nose and touch my nose, right? And I don't have to see my hand and guide it with my eyes. That is actually your sense of spatial awareness. People think you have 5 senses and that your 6th sense is like magic powers, but actually you have 22 senses. And one of those senses is your sense of spatial awareness. And that I know where my hand is relative to my face. I can feel and understand the distance of space between my face and my hand without having to sense it in any other way. I'm not touching the space. I don't hear the space. I don't see it. I don't smell it. I don't taste it. But I know how much space to get from there to there to touch my hand. That is your sense of spatial awareness. And you need to have that with your character, right? And you need to understand that with every move on your character's command list. You need to understand your sense of spatial awareness to where I know if I stand here, that's touching. Okay? I don't need to sit here and throw one out to measure and then move over and do that. Because if you do that, you're giving your opponent a tell. Like, he's looking at that and saying, oh, that guy's fishing for back down 4. What a fucking idiot. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that. Fuck you, right? So you want to hide that information. You want to hide what you're looking for. Hide what you're trying to do and move into the exact correct range that you need to be to hit that. And then it comes out, boom, and they didn't see it coming, and they never see it coming, right? They never see it coming. They don't know what the fuck you're trying to do. And they get blown up and you get your hit and you get your damage and they just have to fucking hold that. And you need to know that with every move on your character's command list. Every single move. Every move. I need to know where that's going to whiff, right? I need to know that if I stand here, that's whiffing and I'm dead, okay? But I can stand here and it won't whiff. I need to know where that's going to whiff. I need to know where that's going to whiff. I need to know where that's going to whiff. Because you don't ever want to put buttons on screen without being at the proper range, at the proper spacing, because you'll get punished. You'll get blown up. Think of yourself, right? And this is what I always talk about, the wall on stream in the mid space, in the neutral, or in whatever. Think about yourself as a wall, right? My character is a wall. And my character, his wall, has a drawbridge, right? This is the drawbridge. No one's coming into my castle until they get through my drawbridge. But in order to attack, I have to lower the drawbridge to send out the troops, right? Lower the drawbridge to send out the troops. So if my drawbridge is lowered, it leaves me open to attack. You can now enter my castle and fuck me up. So you don't ever want to throw troops out haphazardly. You don't want to throw them out at a range where they're going to miss, right? If I lower my drawbridge and I send out the troops, I just left myself open. You can jump over and fucking hit me, right? Throw that out. Well, let me just, right? So that's going to whiff there, right? So if he throws it from there, I'm just going to jump over and I'm going to hit him because his drawbridge is down and he is not protecting himself. So you always want to know exactly your spacing. And if you are not moving into space or moving out of space or putting a button on screen to control space and hit your opponent, then your default position should always be with your drawbridge up. Always, right? I want you guys to practice just not doing anything and crouch blocking and holding your ground. This is actually the most aggressive thing you can do in the game. People are like, I don't want to be a turtle. I don't want to play defense. I don't want to sit there and defend. But actually defending and blocking is the most aggressive thing you can do in the game because you are holding your ground. You are not coming past me, and you cannot control this space. I control all the space that my buttons control. They are mine. This space is mine, and you are not allowed in it. And until you can get past that, until you can get past this drawbridge, I control all of this. I control all of this range. This is all the range, and I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to make you deal with the space I own. I'm going to make you deal with my buttons. And until you can stop dealing with my buttons, I'm going to hold this ground. I ain't moving. I ain't moving. I'm going to move. If I think you're going to put a button out, I'm going to move and I'm going to blow it up. Or if I think that you're just going to passively block, then I will move in and I will blow that up. But otherwise, unless you have made the specific decision right? The specific decision in the neutral of, at this exact moment, I want to do this because this. Then you hold the defensive position. You hold your wall up. You just sit there. That's the most terrifying thing in a fighting game, right? A lot of you guys talk about like, oh man, your Kung Lao is so fucking intimidating because I don't know what the fuck you're going to do, right? I'll give you an example. Let me go pull out Kung Lao, right? I'll give you an example. Because you guys have been caught in this situation a lot of fucking times. And I love putting you in this situation. And this is the fundamental key of neutral and space control that I understand that you guys don't understand. And I just abuse the fact that you guys have no idea how to deal with it. I just abuse it. I abuse it. You guys don't understand space control. And I do. I know that if I stand here, forward 1 hits. I know exactly how much I need to move to catch forward 1. So I'll move right into there and I'll block. And I'll just sit here and block and wait for you to do something stupid. And I'm either going to catch you preemptively with a forward 1, or I'm going to jump over it and I'll blow you up. But how many times have you been in the ring with me and you have seen me do literally this right at this range? And all I'm doing is baiting you to flinch. I'm like, you fucking move. I won't move. I'll sit here and I'll play the long game and I'll wait for you to do something stupid. And as soon as I see you flinch, as soon as I see your character twitch just a little bit, I'm going in for the attack. And you're getting hit. Full combo punish. Full combo punish, because I know at this range right here, my forward 1 is going to hit. Well, not that range. Right here. Right? I know at this range, my forward 1 is going to hit, and I only have to react to your character not blocking. And then it's bam. Done. Game time, right? All I do is move into that range and block. And now I am forcing you. I am calling you out and taunting you and saying, what are you going to do? Because I am in your space. I am in your space and you are in my space. And if you move a single muscle, I'm going to blow you up and I'm taking your health bar. And I'm going to challenge you to fucking do something about me sitting here. I am a brick wall, and if you want to do anything about this brick wall, you need to do something about it quick, because as soon as I see you move, you're eating a combo. And that's space control, and I know that generally with all of my buttons, right? I know where this is going to whip. I know where this is going to whip, right? I know where I can throw that out, right? I know where I can sit here and I can jockey for position, and it's like, okay, I'm going to stand outside of back 1 range, and I'm going to back it up, and as soon as he does a button, I'm going in. Soon as he does a button, I'm just outside of back or forward 1 range, right? Just outside of forward 1 range. So I'm going to sit here and wait because he's stopping my forward 1. He's controlling that space. He's controlling the space where I want to put forward 1. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait until he does something to control space, right? Sub-Zero may do like, you know, axe or whatever. He's going to do something because he knows if I take a step forward, he's in the danger zone. So he's going to control that space. So I'm going to back up and I'm going to blow that up. Right? Or I'm going to back up and then I'm going to jump in. I know where I want to stand and I know where you don't want me to stand, and I know intrinsically where you're going to try to push buttons to try and keep me from getting to where I want to be, and I will manipulate that. I will manipulate that and I will manipulate you, and that's how you people can be like, how the fuck do you get in on me? How the fuck do you fucking hit me? Like, how the fuck do you navigate this shit? And it's because I know where you want to push buttons. And you don't understand the concept of spacing, so you have no idea where you're going to put your moves. You just know that you don't want me to hit you and you want to hit me. And I'm going to abuse that and I'm going to manipulate you. And what I want you guys to do, instead of sitting there and saying, I want to play this character and I want to play this character and this and this and this, I want you to get your character to be second knowledge to you, right? I want you to sit there and take your character and understand like what your ranges are on all of your moves for that character, and then go to practice mode and start figuring out the ranges where you want to stand against every other character and where you want to put buttons on screen against every other character. That's matchup knowledge. That's matchup experience. It's even better if you find another specialist, right? So I see Creative is in chat right now. He's a collector specialist. So I can sit there and test things. Okay, at this range, I want to do this move. What does collector want to do? And then I can play against someone who specializes in that character. And, oh, that's what he wants to do at that spacing. So when I'm standing here, I need to look out for this, 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 and this. And I'm going to try to do this, this, and this to him. And that's the back and forth, and that's matchup knowledge. And until you have matchup knowledge and matchup experience and understand your spacing in relation to your opponent as it relates to your buttons and their buttons, then you don't know shit about your character. Like you don't know how to play your character if you don't know those things. Like you can't sit there and have like 5 or 6 fucking alts and play 10 characters on the roster and pull up a bunch of combos on YouTube and practice those combos and be like, oh, look, I can do all these YouTube combos. You still don't know how to fucking play the game. And that's why I call these people out when I fight them in Kombat League. I'm like, dude, he's just a fucking YouTube player. He doesn't know his spacing. He's over here fucking whiffing buttons like a fucking idiot, right? But every time he touches me, he gets a combo. It's like, okay. So he knows how to use the practice options to land combos, but he's whiffing like crazy. He doesn't know his spacing. He doesn't know how to play his character. He doesn't know where he wants to stand. He doesn't know how to control me. And so I'm just going to manipulate him and abuse him and hit him with all of my cool shit and look really fucking fantastic on stream. And you guys would be like, wow, Honey Badger, he's so cool, man. You're really good at this game. That guy sucks. Even though he probably spent way more time practicing his combos than I do practicing mine, because I hardly ever practice combos. Usually all the combo practice I do is like when I warm up in practice mode before going into Kombat League on my stream, which you guys see me practice combos before stream for like maybe 5 minutes. So I stream Mortal Kombat 4 days, so I practice combos maybe 20 minutes a week, maybe, give or take. Some weeks I don't even go into practice mode to practice combos. No, when I go into practice mode, I'm looking at other things. I'm looking at their buttons. I'm like, okay, what buttons is Sub-Zero going to be trying to use? What can I do to blow that up? Where is he going to try to stand to use those buttons? So that way I know where I need to position myself relative to him so I can bait those and counter them. For every button on every character, just sit there and you go through their command list and you say, all right, where is he going to stand? What's he going to do when he's standing there? When I'm way the fuck over here, what's he going to do? What's he going to stand? Where's he going to stand? Is he going to stay there? What are his options? That's how I can tell you guys at certain positions on the screen exactly what to do. And then you guys do it, and then you blow up your opponent, and you're like, fuck, that was a read. And I'm like, no, it's not a read. Like, that guy doesn't know how to play, and he's an idiot, right? Because how many times have you seen me do this? I walk up to Sub-Zero, and I just do this. From this range, right? From this range, I'll do this against Sub-Zero. And I'll just sit here. I'll sit right here. Why? Why will I sit there and block? Because I know that Sub-Zero doesn't have a single thing he can do to me from that range. And if he takes a step forward, I can jump on him. If he takes a step forward, I can jump in, right? See how my jump barely missed from this range, right? I jump in, my jump barely misses. But if he takes a step forward, he's going to walk right into my jump punch. And from here, he can't do anything. What can he do? He can do 2 things. Ice ball, slide. If he ice balls, I react to it, I neutral duck. If he slides, I'm already blocking. I block it, I blow him up, punish him, full combo. So from here, all I'm doing is sitting here chilling, waiting for him to walk forward and get frustrated, right? He's going to get frustrated because I am standing outside of his space and he can't do anything. He has literally no options to really do anything. He can take a big risk on me being stupid, or he can kind of like harass me with ice balls and I'll just neutral duck them and take no chip and nothing, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm waiting. I'm standing in a certain space and I know what range he can't do anything to me, and I'm waiting for a flinch. And as soon as I see the flinch, I'm jumping in. Jumping in, and you're eating a full fucking combo unless you're smart enough to know what I'm looking for, and then you'll walk forward and block. And that's how people counter that. People that understand the Kung Lao matchup, Sub-Zeros that know how to deal with Kung Lao, will sit there and say, okay, I know what he's trying to do. I'm going to walk forward and block, and I'm going to bait that shit out. Or I'm going to walk forward and down 2. I'm going to walk forward and down 2. And you'll be like, why the fuck would you walk forward and down 2 there? I mean, it's not a stupid whiff if I end up jumping into his down 2. Because he's going to be reacting to my flinch, right? He's not going to be sitting there, like, doing anything. He's going to be waiting for my flinch, and as soon as I flinch, bam, that comes out. He's reacting to the flinch, reacting to the movement. And that's why sometimes you'll see people throwing down 2s. You'll see me do this shit a lot, right? I'll stand exactly where I want them to be, and then I'll do that. And you guys are like, why are you whiffing a down 2 there? And it's like, well, I made a bad read. I was reacting to a flinch. I was reacting to movement. I saw him move. I made the read that he was going to jump. I wanted to put my button on screen before he got there, so that way he would land on my uppercut. Because if you catch an uppercut high enough, I can get a full combo punish. So I want to do my uppercut as early as possible. And that's why sometimes I'll whiff an uppercut and you'll be like, what the fuck? What are you thinking? And it's like, well, here's what I was thinking. I was wrong. I made the wrong read, but that's what I was looking for. Anyways, that's going to be my bit on spacing and space control and understanding spacing and space control. I really want you guys to go and practice these concepts with your character, whatever character you want to main. It doesn't matter. Like,
hey, so if you follow YouTube enough, you know that they like to put weird stuff all over the screen for the last 30 seconds. So this is going to fill that space. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably right there and there. All over the place right now. Yeah, go ahead and click that stuff if you want. And that's 30 seconds.